Welcome to the Hidden History series. In today's episode, I am going to discuss visitors from space. What if human beings are fighting an alien war? Are extraterrestrials invisibly living amongst us, and are we having visitors from space? From the many documents that have surfaced over the last 20 years, it is very possible that governments are not only aware of the extraterrestrial presences on Earth, but there is even speculation that they may be controlled by them. Yes, of course, there is a lot of questionable information and charlatans who pretend they have been part of the secret space program, describing outlandish theories which hold no valid scientific truth. However, we are still presented with numerous stories that simply cannot be ignored. The US government is fully aware of alien spacecraft, and therefore extraterrestrials are a real concern. Most information about the different kinds of off-planet activity has always been concealed from the public, and maybe this has been done to prevent mass panic and social chaos from happening. In October 1938, Orson Welles did his famous War of the Worlds radio broadcast. Although this was obviously a fictional broadcast that was based on the War of the Worlds story, was this predictive programming, testing to see the reaction of the public. We had the Hollywood science fiction movies made in the 50s, The Day the Earth Stood Still, Forbidden Planet, and so much more. Were these covert interstellar programs? Where did the inspiration for these Hollywood movies and TV series come from? We are told that these are just creative ideas because of our technological advances. But are extraterrestrials invisibly living amongst us? If we go back over 75 years ago, the visitations of the extraterrestrials was already becoming highly problematic for the US government and starting to be taken very seriously. After the Roswell incident occurred in 1947, the US President Harry Truman signed a classified executive order which allowed for the development of the Majestic-12 Group, or the MJ-12, on the 24th of September 1947. This was specifically tasked with monitoring and gathering data about the visitations and presence of alien spacecraft and extraterrestrials. Some individuals believe all this information is just a theory, but Operation Majestic-12 did actually exist, and there is a lot of information which confirms this happened. The development of Operation Majestic-12 was seemingly intended to prepare the US government for any kind of alien offensive. This event is actually linked to the Greada Treaty when President Eisenhower went to the Muroc Army Airfield Base in 1954, where he covertly established the Greada Treaty with the Rigelian Greys or the Orion Greys. He believed, as did the military-industrial complex, that the Rigelian Greys would honour their part of the Greada Treaty. Because the Rigelian Greys did not adhere to what they had agreed upon, it clearly showed that planet Earth effectively had no near-space defences, which could protect against deceptive extraterrestrials from invading. The Strategic Defensive Initiative, SDI, also known as the Star Wars program, was proposed on the 23rd of March 1983 as a missile defence to protect the United States from nuclear attack. But when you look at the Star Wars program, a lot of highly advanced technologies were used. Was the Strategic Defense Initiative really designed to defend planet Earth from attack by malevolent aliens? All this sounds like scenes from a science fiction film, but as there are over 2 trillion galaxies known to exist in the physical universe, and with astronomers estimating that there are hundreds of billions of worlds beyond our solar system, it is therefore very possible that malevolent extraterrestrials could feasibly attack planet Earth. There have been numerous stories of people who have been employed by the US Army, the US Marine Corps, the US Navy, or the US Air Force and have given their stories concerning aliens. Clifford Stone claims that whilst he was employed from the 17th of June 1968 and onwards by the US Army, he was first given training at the Nuclear Biological Chemical Warfare Facility at Fort McCallum. Later, he was then transferred to Fort Lee in Eastern Virginia, where he was recruited into the Interplanetary Phenomena Research Unit, the IPRU. The Interplanetary Phenomena Research Unit, which apparently started back in October 1943 by the US Army General Douglas MacArthur, for the purpose of gathering information on the activities of extraterrestrials who kept visiting planet Earth. The US Army Counter-Intelligence Corps were specifically tasked with monitoring the activities of the different alien visitors. The US Air Force published the Special Operations Manual 101 for the Majestic-12 Group on the 16th of April 1954. The document presents concise and clear instructions for how to deal with alien spacecraft, ultraterrestrials and extraterrestrials in different emergency situations. The Majestic-12 Group's Special Operations Manual: Extraterrestrials, Entities and Technology, Recovery and Disposal. This manual was to ensure different kinds of UFO retrievals could be effectively managed. Various special teams were defined in the manual, ranging from the 4A to the 4D special teams. The 4D special team was given the highest priority in regards to UFO crash retrievals. Although such information sounds like a scene from an episode of The X-Files, this knowledge has been fully documented. According to Clifford Stone, the Interplanetary Phenomena Research Unit, the IPRU, was created on the 28th of October 1943 by the US Army General Douglas MacArthur, in response to the large number of UFO sightings that were observed during World War II over Europe. Such alien spacecraft were often called Foo Fighters. Wherefore, it was decided that the Interplanetary Phenomena Research Unit was required, as there was an urgent need to study the presence of the alien spacecraft in order to determine if the extraterrestrials were hostile and what they wanted. The Special Operations Manual provides an important analytical framework for understanding and answering about classified procedures that were used for locating, isolating, and recovering crashed alien spacecraft. Each aspect of the Special Operations Manual had been written by the Majestic-12 Group, which had evolved from Operation Majestic-12 that was created by US President Harry Truman on the 24th of December 1947. Recorded documents such as the Eisenhower Briefing Document, the Truman Memo and the Cutler Twinning Memo confirm that the Majestic-12 Group was created by using a classified executive order by US President Harry Truman, in conjunction with the executive branch of the US federal government. The executive branch actively recruited suitable individuals from the United States Armed Forces to become part of Project Moondust. Hence, this further confirms that Sergeant Clifford Stone, who served in the US Army for 22 years from 1968, did participate in UFO crash retrieval operations as part of Project Moondust. Clifford Stone says that once he joined the US Army in 1968, he was initially given training in nuclear biological chemical at Fort McCallum, southern Alabama, and then given regular assignments by the US Army until he was called away to perform his UFO crash retrieval duties as part of Project Moondust. The US Air Force created Project Moondust on the 23rd of December 1957 at Holloman's Air Force Base and Wright-Patterson's Air Force Base. The US Air Force then created Project Bluefire as part of Project Moondust. on the 18th of February 1960 in the same Air Force Missile Development Center as the Holloman Air Force Base. Project Blue Flight was intended to facilitate the expeditious delivery to the Foreign Technological Division, the FTD, of Project Moondust. The aim of these programs was to officially exploit the discovery of technical hardware from the Soviet Union, if the US Defense Department managed to retrieve such equipment and devices. However, that objective seems to only be a cover story to conceal the ongoing retrieval of alien spacecraft technology. Clifford Stone further claimed that he was allowed to read a 3-inch thick booklet that contained information on 57 known types of extraterrestrial biological entities, EBEs. In the book, it contained a lot of information on the different types of ultraterrestrials and extraterrestrials in terms of physiology, food requirements, and medical information. Clifford Stone says that the EBE guide was to be used in case first aid had to be administered to any of the aliens that were found at the UFO crash sites. This kind of information only reveals a fraction of how immense the presence of alien spacecraft, ultraterrestrials and extraterrestrials are on planet Earth. All you have to do is go and do your own research, and then you can open your mind to the fact that aliens do exist. How they are created, where they come from, we do not know. But has planet Earth been infiltrated by malevolent aliens? If they have infiltrated governments, how would anybody know? By keeping humans focused on a narrow bandwidth of thinking is a highly subversive way for aliens to covertly retain dominance. We have been told so many lies for such a long time. Yes, maybe this has been done for our benefit in some cases, but when humans are continuing to suffer, big questions need to be asked. And maybe it is time for any of the malevolent aliens that are here to leave. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Hidden History. Please cross-reference all these stories and see for yourself. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next week.